Podcast for the common folk.
I get everybody has a point of view. Everybody's got a valid argument arguing one way or the other. But if your argument takes a turn and starts slandering Dr. Seuss, your argument immediately becomes invalid. That's just, I was thinking about that. Dr. Seuss, man, that honky answered a lot of questions. Want racism? Sneetches, man. Those heifers, they didn't like each other, and they all wanted to be stars, and they all wanted to be circles, and they all wanted to be this, and then they all ended up being different. Yet they were the same. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is right there. We all the same, we look different, but we all the same, we work different, all our bodies are the same. There's no scientific explanation for discriminating against any race or any woman. That's just how it is, But, you hurt yourself when you're fighting that, when you go and you attack Dr. Seuss. Say this, it was just written by a man, so it was sexist. Well, no, it wasn't. Dr. Suess is one of the greatest people, and if you slander him, you will die a painful death and burn in hell. Anyways, I'm assuming we all read Dr. Seuss there, much like we all watched VeggieTales and SpongeBob, which is starting to become a pretty long-running TV show, I might add. Big fan there, big fan there, so that's not doing too bad. I like that. But I'm sitting there thinking about, what does Dr. Seuss, the Lorax and the Sneetches come to mind? Sneetches about racism, Lorax about environmentalism. Now, that's all two very good things. Personal side note with environmentalism, I think we do need definitely more trees, lots and lots of them. I love trees. I love the shade they provide because I live in a desert. Switch to hemp for, supplying a lot of that lumber, what that lumber, supplies, and I think we'd all be in a better place. But that's just personal. That's my personal view right there. There's a lot of pro and anti marijuana people out there. I think it's got its uses. I certainly do think it's got its uses. So that's where I'm gonna leave it right there. And that's a stance I'll take along with pro life and all that. So that's about it for that one. Sorry, a little side note, but this Dr. Seuss, man, guy was an OG. Look at this. He targeted fascism with Yertle the Turtle and other stories. Phew. I'll take that. Anybody to fight, fascism and communism. Communism and socialism have never worked. Ever. People get a hold and abuse power, then they all of a sudden climb, and then economics on the downfall. Because we all want to make that money, and how can you make that money if the government takes it away? Anyways, that's my view on that. Dr. Seuss, me and him share a lot of things. Now, that doesn't mean we all can't share some of these views and stuff, but also, if we're all agreeing sitting here with Dr. Seuss, we're not all thinking, because if you disagree with Dr. Seuss, you're thinking for yourself. Unless you're trying to, ally with some chick or trying to get in with her. And, she doesn't like Dr. Seuss. But can you really trust a chick that doesn't like Dr. Seuss? I mean, I certainly can't. So I wouldn't think I think that's just some sound dating advice right there. You get down, you sit there, and you talk to him and be like, excuse me, man, do you like Dr. Seuss? What is your favorite one? I like them all a lot. I can't choose a favorite. Would you say the new cartoons like the Horton Hears a Who with Jim Carrey and the Lorax? Or do you want to go to the older ones like with the How the Grinch Stole Christmas and the Sneetches and, those? There's another one over there. Yeah, so I guess those are some of the main ones. And they'd be like, I like the new one. Get up and leave. I'm not down. The new ones are very good. I love the graphics. I love the Horton Hears a Who. I love that whole, everything. But it's the Sneetches, I think they did an old version of the Lorax, the Cat in the Hat. Like, the original cartoon were the better ones. They were better written. Because, a lot of these days you have a lot of good graphics and you can, show a lot of visionary, which is, what I like, but the older ones just, when it's that when the acting and writing just blend together that well. It's like a lot of those older westerns tend to be better than newer ones, and it was on the acting and stuff because you knew that the gunslinging and the fights and all that didn't look exactly real, but the acting was good and you were still sucked in. Now you're watching. That's one of my big things is getting it realistic because that's always the biggest thing that people always that's not real. That can't happen in real life. And it's like, well, they did it. Well, that's a movie. They probably did it 30,000 times. And it gives you false hope to those little kids because then they tried doing it at home for a YouTube challenge. Instead of snorting cinnamon or condoms or the shit they're supposed to be doing, they tried jump from one tall building to another, drive around real fast and try to drift, and they end up drowning or killing themselves or taking out a lot of damage and killing a lot of people because they realize that they're not movie stars or trained professionals themselves. They were trying to act cool, and they end up becoming retarded and spend the rest of their life in prison. And then, see, you don't want to do that because prison's a bad place. Why be in prison when you can be out in the forest hunting and fishing and shit? You can't hunt and fish in a prison. I've never been to a prison, so I can't confirm that for sure. But I have some pretty reliable sources based on some movies and TV shows that have accurate representations of prisons. That's just to my knowledge. They also, even the most hardest of the cons that are sit there in solitary confinement and all that shit, get to read Dr. Seuss books. There ain't anybody can agree with that. An alien would come to Earth, and the first thing we do, we hand him a Dr. Seuss. An alien would agree that the Dr. Seuss is a very smart man. And that's how it should be. Dr. Seuss is a very good guy. These books profoundly changed our childhood. How else do I want to say this? Nothing will ever amount to what he did. Like no children's book. Now I'm saying children's book. No children's book can really ever compare to that. I don't know if you count like the Hardy Boys as a children's book. I know it's a mystery, and the Hardy Boys is great. But as per children's books go, I think Dr. Seuss has to take the top, mainly because they're simple. They're one of the foundation for people teaching kids how to read. So a book that's that well respected and much used is that what brings us together as a people. I personally think. Oh, you're all this, you're all that, and you're all this, but we're all product of an upbringing where in the childhood we read Dr. Seuss books. Now, we're taking in new members, so if you need to go get yourself reading a couple of his books because you were never read that as a child, then you go do so that yourself. There ain't nothing bad in those books. Those books have nothing but good lessons and entertainment. Preferably read them to a kid because it's kind of weird when you're reading Dr. Seuss book alone. You're reading it out loud and you just reflect on yourself and you're like, I'm on my bed alone. It's 2 a.m. and I'm reading A Cat in a Hat out loud. And you think it's a cat, but it ends up just being a pillow because you're all alone and you never got any animals. Yeah, anyway, so reevaluate that shit, but make sure you have Dr. Seuss in your life. There ain't no problem there. That leads people to enlightened thinking. Simple, easy phrases, learn some. Not too realistic. And some of the ways that they were doing, they balanced and how the Grinch Stole Christmas. They were balancing a turkey and all this stuff and butter and corned beef and just about anything for a Christmas dinner. And he put it all into a bag along with all the presents and everything, and it all fit on top of his sled. Well, I tried that, and that didn't work. I'm not going to sue the guy, but I mean, at least a letter of complaint because, why was he giving us this false hope? I tried sneaking out the turkey before, the night before and bringing it up to my room. But first of all, it wasn't cooked, so we had a problem there. But it doesn't fit in those bags, and those bags don't continuously grow. They just get full and stuffed, and it gets to a point where you can't keep pushing shit in. And it's bullshit. So I'm sitting there going, what kind of bags does the Grinch get a hold of? And why can't I hold all that, And any sled I build barely carries my fat ass. How am I supposed to expect it to carry my fat ass and a giant 500-pound bag of toys, trees, lights, and food from every house because I just robbed a village? And by the way, they came out, they were all singing, Kumbaya and shit, and the star was rising, and they had nothing. That's not how it would have gone. People would be coming out. Cops would be called. People would be rioting in the streets. That Grinch would have damn well got his way. Or he would have gotten Target on his back and it would have been a giant manhunt led over to go kill him. Because, he just destroyed single-handedly the greatest ever. Although he does that, and then, they say his heart grew 10 sizes too big and stuff. Because he doesn't get it, because he's a Grinch and he's not a human. So he doesn't understand the human soul. If you want to go that direction, technically you would end up in hell. But, just call him an agent of God in hell, and he's like a mole or something. I don't know. Big thing is, I was asked this the other day, why does the heart not look like a heart when it's represented anywhere? And it's just those, two butt cheeks with a diamond on the back. And it's like, I don't know. But, it's not as romantic, apparently, when you send them an actual picture of a heart using the actual heart shape, because it looks all weird and shit. It's like, well, I'm sorry, it's only your most important organ in your body. And you're sitting there telling me it looks all weird? Well, how do you think your heart's taking that? Your heart's sitting there, it's the lifeblood of your body. Your heart's the only reason you're alive. And it sits there, and it takes all that shit from you. I'd be damned to just watch you fall over dead because your heart just said, fuck you, and up and left. And I wouldn't even try to bring you back to life because, you know what? Your heart deserves a better human being and someone who appreciates that. Now, keep that in mind while, I have to go real quick. I'm going to go chug a bunch of bacon grease and eat all the bacon and drink 3 different Diet Cokes and a can of Red Bull. I'll be right back. But I love my heart better. All right, so you can't make that argument. All right. Well, if you love your heart better, how can you eat like a lard ass? Well, you know what? My heart wants me to be happy, and he knows I want him to be happy. And I balance it out by drinking Diet Coke and eating Cheerios that are heart healthy at breakfast. Not Honey Nut, regular. I know, I cry every morning, and I water and make the bowl because of lactose, so I don't like the milk in there, and it makes my stomach icky. Although I'll drink chocolate milk when I feel like having the shits, and I'll eat ice cream when I feel like having the shits, and cheese gives me the sniffles, and I have powerful sniffles. So, it's punishment after the crime, and I know. And you could take a pill, you could build up tolerance. I will enjoy it. I'm not going to get onto a regular enough schedule to try to build up a tolerance. When I want it, I'll have it. I'm not that kind of guy. I live life free. I might powerlift, eat super vegan one day, then the next day I might devour a whole pig and bottle of bourbon. I don't know. I don't know. But my heart knows I'm happy, and I know my heart's happy, so we have a mutual understanding. Unlike that lady whose heart was pumping for her, and she was doing everything for her body, yet she doesn't like the way it looks. You know what I mean? That's racism. Come on, Jesus. You like that other heart, that fake heart that's got really the 2 butt cheeks and a diamond better than the heart that's actually doing all the work? Useful shit, man. Your heart's got veins, it's got pumps in it. Your heart works, it's a muscle. Your heart's constantly pumping when you're sleeping, whenever. And you take that for granted, you call him an ugly son of a bitch. How do you think he's going to feel? God's going to sit here having a union riot of hearts on his belt in heaven because they're all sitting there going, these humans don't give a shit about us. Then God takes away their free will, and that's why our hearts don't up and die when we don't talk, because, God took away their free will for the hearts, because the hearts are being stingy and sticking it to the man, which in that case are the humans, and the humans couldn't do anything about it. Anyways, that's, true story, by the way. So, I can't answer that. But anyways, back to the hearts, the Grinch's grows, and apparently it expands bigger than his body, yet it doesn't come out of his body, or his body doesn't move, or nothing happens. You would think if his heart was pumping that fast and that big, that he would have, like, a heart attack or something. I don't know. That's what you would think, but I guess not. Shit, I don't know. I always thought that, your heart, I guess I can't really, I've never had a heart attack, but I can imagine that if your heart was growing so big that it broke the X-ray machine that was looking at it. What kind of X-ray machine was that shit? When they showed it, it showed the skeleton, then the heart. Okay, I don't know what setting that is, but I want to find that setting because I want to see what my heart looks like. It's probably old, stressed, wrinkly with beard and gray hair. But, I want to see what it looks like. Maybe it's got a kick-ass mullet. I don't know. Maybe it's bald and embarrassing. Maybe it's like a werewolf and just hairy everywhere. I don't know. But I'd like to see. I want to know. But no, every X-ray machine I know, and they all say, "Oh, it doesn't work like that. We can only see your bones." And I'm like, Dr. Seuss showed us the heart. I know it's possible. Show me the heart. Then I get kicked out for yelling and screaming. And I'm in prison trying to explain to the guard why I'm in prison. And he's sitting there going, man, that's stupid. X-ray machines show the heart. And I'm sitting there losing it because I was sitting there going like, well, if the next person tells me that an X-ray machine can't show a heart, even though Dr. Seuss himself showed it to us on the show, I will lose my cool. And then that's probably the downfall of my career. And all I'm sitting here going is like, I just want to know what my heart looks like. And I said, well, we can pull it out of your body and show it to you. Well, how long would I last there, Einstein? Yeah, I wouldn't. We can open up while you're asleep and take pictures. I don't know. I need to see it with my own two eyes to really believe it, just like the flat earth theorist people, Although the earth is clearly a globe. And yes. Anyways. So, that's just... That would be my only complaint about the book. But it's nothing about the content or anything. It's just about, some of the side looks and the way things roll and stuff. And I don't know how he has control over that bead of hair that runs straight up. I don't know how he gets it to do that. My hair just sticks straight down, If I could get my hair to just go straight up, I'd need a lot of hairspray, I think. I say I think because I'm not too sure what is hairspray. I can do gel maybe, but if I want my hair weighing 50 pounds and itching like a mother heifer, there are easier ways to do that. And gel just, I don't think my hair can take anymore. I went through a gel phase. I would say up into middle school I used a lot of gel. But the last time, I always thought about gelling my beard, then I realized that I love my beard and I love myself. So that's why I stopped gelling in the first place. That's in a Dr. Seuss book too. I think it's one of his unpublished works that you have to go through and find. But that's how it is. So I'm sitting there going, gel's all right. Why can't I see what the heart really looks like? Why is it so romantic to not have that heart? They say that they have those pictures, but it's only for like doctors and shit. I'm like, other people want realistic versions too. You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, the heart, like a V on Valentine's Day fits into that heart shape. You mean the asshole with the diamond on the end? Yes, the V fits. Well, you know what? The V's a fucking stupid letter, and you should ignore it. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you that a regular heart's better. I mean, it's just realistic. That person's real. You know what that person's about. They get you some giant-ass teddy bear that weighs 30 pounds that knocks over everybody in the goddamn hallway because you're an inconsiderate little person carrying it through, parading it, showing off your 2-day boyfriend and shit. And I'm the one getting pummeled by giant-ass teddy bears and flowers and sitting there going like, I'm just waiting for midnight to strike when all that candy goes on sale and I can go buy a 5-pound bag of Reese's peanut butter cups for $2. God bless Walmart. Amen. So, and I'm saying, it's just like, I want to see that one couple where the guy gave her like a realistic look. I'm not saying a real heart. That's kind of creepy if you go and you cut up or get a heart cadaver, get a cadaver and get the heart and shit and give it to the kid. That's a bit weird. But, like a real looking heart, maybe like a stuffed one, like a more accurate picture representation. I could go with that, but no, everybody wants to do that weird heart-shaped one, That's why I don't eat those heart-shaped candies that have the little logos on them. Mainly because they're not heart-shaped. They're stupid-shaped. I don't even know what that shape would be called. It's like cross between two humps and a guitar pick. So what would you call that? The double hump pick? So, everybody's giving double hump pick shit to each other, and I'm sitting there going like, I want a heart because it's Valentine's Day. Like, this is a heart. And I'm like, no, that's a double hump pick. And like, when was that decided? I was like, well, I decided it, which means it's real because apparently whatever you say now is word. Like, if you say you're a different gender than the two that are provided because you don't give a shit, then, that's apparently the way it works anymore. But don't come crying to me when I'm sitting there yelling at you because that ain't a real thing and you got to get out of make-believe world. What I'm saying is a real thing. I want the real heart. Is that too much to ask, Now, that's the only complaint I had about Dr. Seuss books because his hearts aren't realistic. They're the double hump picks. Yeah, he still solves racism and shit, but can't fix the heart. It's like those people. It's like, oh, I can draw, but I just can't draw humans real well. You mean you can draw other lines and shapes, but when you try to think of something and draw it, you draw like shit, like everybody else? Yeah, you're not special. Move to the back of the line. And you get that one girl, she's like, I only draw anime. Well, you know what? You can draw, that's pretty good, but go to the back of the line. I don't like anime. I do SpongeBob karate chopping Patrick in half. Come over here to my office. We may have something to talk about. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool, man. Fan art's pretty nice, seeing those representations. Gives you a little taste or excitement. Fan concept. Sometimes I hear it gives, too bad there ain't no fan art of Dr. Seuss. Not that there would be, though. The Cat in the Hat movie, which came out, which was a great movie. Loved it, by the way. It was live action. I know it wasn't original cartoon, but I liked it too. I didn't say you can't not like the newer ones. I just said that the older ones were more original and better. Disclaimer. So, I'm sitting here going, I like the original Cat in the Hat and stuff, and I don't know what fan art would be. Maybe like the Tweedle 1, Tweedle 2, just wrecking shit at WrestleMania. Maybe I bet you that would be pretty cool. I found a picture. I guess you can consider memes fan art of. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Walking Dead, and this happened 2 seasons ago, so it's not a damn spoiler. But when Negan came and made his big debut, he killed Abraham, and he hovered around him first with his bat perch. Well, someone photoshopped Negan's head out and put the Cat in the Hat's head there from the realistic movie, and I laughed for about 3 days till my heart told me to quit that bullshit. And I listened to my heart because he's a cool guy, and I thought that was pretty cool. So that was some decent fan art. So I guess I can't say there hasn't been fan art for Dr. Seuss books. But, yeah. I guess it would be. That's all right. It's ain't too much of a problem anymore. Everybody these days, they're not even reading it. They're reading stupid books about chihuahuas and stuff. And I miss the old days. Wonder Pets. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, SpongeBob, the original SpongeBob, Simpsons, Adult Swim, you know what I'm saying? Cartoon Network, Now we got shows about a girl babysitting, and don't get me wrong, Disney's produced some insanely hot women. I'm not going the way of the guys. I take your word for it, whatever, ladies, but that's just not my cup of tea or draft of beer. Ah! There you go. There you go. So women say, that's not my cup of tea. Or British people, I don't care who you are. But men say, that's not my draft of beer. There you go. Or brew of beer. I like draft of beer better. So that's not my draft of beer. There you go. Or you can say, that's not my proof of whiskey. No, I'll stick to the women say, that's not my cup of tea. Men say, that's not my draft of beer. Which, I don't have a preference, but that, you can make that distinction. That just sounds cool. You're like, oh, you're just saying it because it sounds more manly. Well, yeah, exactly. By the way, Texas universities treating masculinity as a retardation. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. So you're telling me General Patton was retarded? You're telling me General Mattis is retarded? You're telling me all them bull riders are retarded? Well, maybe, I don't know. Those bull riders are some crazy-ass heifers. But, you're telling me that WrestleMania is retarded? Fake? Yeah, that's bullshit. WrestleMania is real. Everybody knows that. You're telling me that The Undertaker doesn't really die and come back to life? That's bullshit. John Cena, I've never seen him. I don't know what he looks like. There's a guy who says he's John Cena, but John Cena said you can't see me, so I don't know. I follow that stuff, Watch the Ultra Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Watch that shit, man. I watched that the other day. I'm like, how can you watch it? You want even more? Well, we have YouTube. I can see clips. Right? Hulk Hogan all the way. Macho Man. Those are some good old days. Anyways, what do we all have in common? We read Dr. Seuss books. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say it. We read Dr. Seuss books. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, man? Let's see, we all ended up around, ZZ Top, great rock band, awesome beards. read Dr. Seuss. Probably every president to date has read Dr. Seuss. That's why we're the greatest country in Europe, in the world. Everybody that has been to space, that was an American, read Dr. Seuss. Anybody worth the shit, read Dr. Seuss. And if you're sitting there going, well, I didn't read Dr. Seuss, implying that I'm going to call you saying you're not worth a shit, well, I just said it now. So please go and read it. Because if you just keep bringing up the fact that you've never read it after I keep telling people you're not worth a shit for not reading it, I'm going to eventually just blatantly tell you that you're not worth a shit to your face, and that's not good for anybody. You know, just read the Dr. Seuss books. They're not that hard, okay, you know? I mean, it wasn't that bad, you know? That's what they gave to me in high school when I was learning to read. So, read and write. Dr. Seuss books. I got a 2 on my advanced placement English exam. The one essay, they asked they asked me to write about my favorite book. I wrote about Cat in the Hat. I didn't write about Cat in the Hat. What did I write about? Thinking about Cat in the Hat, I wrote about it was a Dr. Seuss book. It wasn't Sneetches. It was maybe Green Eggs and Ham? Either that or The Grinch Stole Christmas. Probably The Grinch Stole Christmas. Because that's a family favorite right there. So, I mean, I'll always go with that one. By the way, speaking of The Grinch Stole Christmas, and speaking of Christmas movies that were old and good, I have this DVD collection of, old-time Christmas movies. And it's got the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with the elf that doesn't want to work. He just wants to be a dentist, which, I mean, if he wants to be a dentist, let him. Who all wants to be a dentist? It's not something you come born. I want to be a dentist. No, that's, you can't quite pass medical school, so you're going to sit there and go, well, teeth aren't too bad, and you're going to take another year and you're going to become a dentist. That's what that is. Still make a shit ton of money, though. This ain't a diss. Shit, you're making more than me, so, I mean, kudos to you. Not for long, but you are right now, and so, hey, live your dream, man. Work on them teeth, you know what I mean? And you have the luxury. You don't have to say anything. You just get them to open their mouth, fucking stab them a bunch of times, tell them it's their fault, and then you send them on their way with a big bill. Hell yeah, living a life. I guarantee you those guys, they fit there, they fail, they're like, I can't get into a medical hospital, damn. And then all of a sudden they're reading Dr. Seuss books, remembering that shit. And all of a sudden he sees perfect teeth on something, and he's like, dentist! And then, look at that, Dr. Seuss. He was worth a shit. There you go. Now, I know that several presidents probably came before 1930, when 1930s on, when Dr. Seuss started writing these books. But I'm sure that they somehow were able to read them, because they made great decisions. Not all of them, but the ones that did probably was some kind of like weird time dream, something, where George Washington went to sleep. He had a dream about reading these books. But, I bet you that's how that went. Because if you think about it, I mean, he's a cool guy. He never told a lie. That's Dr. Seuss-esque material right there. That certainly is. I mean, he's got a lot of answers to these. You know what I'm saying? I can't get over it. Anyways, this is a little blunder, little boondoggle going on here, going off on a little bender with some hearts and shit. Dr. Seuss just the keystone to America. He's one of the founding fathers, I truly believe. He came, later into our occupation, but hey, Dr. Seuss deserves to be up there on Mount Rushmore with all them other presidents. You put that heifer right there. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Alright. So go read yourself a Dr. Seuss book if you haven't read a Dr. Seuss book. If you read yourself a Dr. Seuss book, go read it anyways. I'm sure maybe some new revelation will open up in your life. If it doesn't, don't sue me. I'm not liable to that. I'm just saying maybe. I'm saying hopefully. I'm preaching for it. I hope it happens to me. But if it doesn't happen to you, it doesn't. Dr. Seuss isn't always there for us. And because he's in heaven right now, chilling. You think he wants to constantly come down and help us out and stuff? No, he probably wants to go back to that never-ending buffet that I'm dreaming about every night. So, that answers that question right there. And the original Dr. Seuss movies were good. They are not the greatest movies. Okay, the greatest cartoon movie would have to be Robin Hood with Roger Miller, not Roger Miller. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. But the Robin Hood, the cartoon where he was the fox and there was the bear and the lion and the snake, that's probably one of the greatest. That's the greatest cartoon movie of all time. There's no doubt about it. Followed second by, not cartoon movie, but movie of all time. The greatest movie of all time, Jeremiah Johnson. And then I'd put, cartoon movie, I'd say Robin Hood. And then I'd go to Mulan. Then I'd go to Grinch Stole Christmas, maybe. Then I'd go to the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the Misfit Island and all that good shit. But it's the original one with the dolls. Not the new one, because they did a new one. I don't like it. When they did a new one, and Year Without Santa Claus and stuff, that's bullshit. The original cartoon Frosty the Snowman. And, of course, Chicken Run. One of the greatest motion pictures of all time. Anyway, enough of my bigger. Get to your day. Make sure when you give your loved one a heart for their anniversary, you give them a heart that looks like a heart, not a double hump pick. So, take that advice, go on and prosper, and have yourselves the rest of a great day. Thank y'all kindly.